Good morning, everybody. For those who are just joining, we'll get started shortly. We'll just give a little bit of time for people to join. It's great to see so many this morning. So that's nearly 40 people. That's great. If I can just ask people to go on mute if you're not speaking, that would be great. And then we don't get a lot of background noise. Okie dokie. Somebody's in a noisy room. Okie dokie. That's 9:32, so I think we'll make a start. And as I say, if you can stay on mute just while you're not speaking, like I say, I do enjoy questions during today's session. But anyway, is anybody new to this session who hasn't been before? Can I just have a show of hands? Oh, that's great. Okay, so we've got a few people who are new. Lovely. That's super. Okay, just to set the scene then, my name's Tracy Smith. I am a Senior Commissioning Manager within the North East North Cumbria ICB. My role here is really to facilitate this session for the PAS advisors and the work coaches and those staff who support the Work Well programme across the region. So that's the whole of North East North Cumbria, hence the reason why we've got so many staff here, which is super. I do like to obviously point out that, you know, that as PAS advisors and work coaches, that this session is about you lot. It's about, you know, what do you need? What do we feel you might need? So I would like to hear some feedback if people have got any thoughts about, you know, any information that might be missing. Or any learning that you want, you know, you want to see in the future. We tend to use these sessions to share new information, updates on programmes, updates on referral routes. Today we've got our colleagues from International Rescue Committee, Yusuf, who's on the call, I can see. Thanks, Yusuf. He's come along really to talk to us about the refugee employment support programme, to let you all know this is a programme that you can refer any patients or clients into, but I'll let Yusuf cover that shortly. I've also got Becky. Is Becky on the line? Yes, I can see Becky as well. Sorry, there's so many people. It's great. So I've got Becky Webster. Becky works for the ICB as well, one of my colleagues, and Becky is responsible for basically our data dashboard. I'll leave Becky to talk you through it, but I want, you know, I felt this was important to share this with you because you were at the start of patients' journeys, so collecting the information at the start to follow that patient or that client through the journey. Becky is at the other end of that journey, so she is collecting that information in and presenting it in a way that we can understand it and make sense. But as I say, I'll let Becky talk about that. We do record this session, so this session will be available on our YouTube channel, which I will share with the notes afterwards if you haven't got the link already. But we've got a playlist of all recordings from previous meetings as well. So if anybody who's new and you want to look back at any previous meetings, you'll be able to see those on that playlist. What else can I tell you? Please use the chat. I can say Yusuf said morning all. Thanks, Yusuf. And oh, Joanne, you haven't got any sound. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully you'll get sorted. Is there anybody else still having issues with sound at all? I'm assuming everybody else can hear me, so it isn't this end. It must be Karen and Joanne's end why they haven't got any sound. Okay. Hopefully I'll get that sorted. Like I say, maybe leaving and rejoining might sort that problem out. Okay, but as I say, this meeting is very informal. There's you know, we're all here to support each other. Use the time, use the space, use the chat, to share your thoughts, share your feelings, whatever you feel comfortable with. And what I'll do is I will start with, if I may, start with Becky. Becky, are you okay to introduce yourself and take us through the session, please?
Yeah, no worries. Good morning,
Thank
everyone. I'm Becky, as Tracy mentioned, so I'm a data analyst within the ICB. So my role within this project is to collect and collate the data that you've submitted and try and get some insights from that. So basically my job is to prove that you're doing the amazing work that you are doing through the data. Data is only part of the story. I'm sure you've got great kind of like written stories about these people as well, but you know, data backs that up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of the dashboard that we've got so far. Just caveat, it is still kind of in process, but I think it's handy to have a look to where your data is going and what we can have a look at our end as well. So I'll just share my screen and show you what we've got so far. So this is kind of the landing page. So in here you can kind of click through all the different tabs. But generally we've got an overview tab. So this will show you the number of referrals each month. So this is the data that goes to NHS England, just to show kind of the follow through of the service. So the referrals of like the reporting month, which is generally last month, the cumulative referrals, so since April 2020, 2025, how many referrals we've got from there, who've started an intervention in the month, and who've started an intervention overall, and then the referral to intervention conversion. So who has referred, got a work coach, and then been referred into an intervention. And then this line graph down here just shows you the number of referrals, work coaches, and interventions completed over a series of time. So having a look at the referral tab. So this is who've been referred into the service. So where have they come from, what month, what GP practice, and referral source. Demographics as well. So looking at their deprivation scores up here. So 1 being the most deprived and 10 being the least deprived, who are we kind of seeing? So it's great to see these IMD 1 and 2 are generally where people are sitting, which is great to see. And then ethnicity by IMD as well. Gender and age band. Generally, we're seeing those between like 18 to 64, so kind of in the working age kind of category. Work coach, so who's been referred to the work coach, the number of people, which providers, and type of contact as well. We can see telephone seems to be the most popular type of contact. Intervention type, so targeted, complex, universal. Current employment status as well. So if they're employed, are they, and then these different colours on there. So that's if they're employed, are they off because of a health reason or other reason? And then the type of employment as well. Some employment questionnaires as well. So if they've been absent, number of times sick, the high risk of being time off, number of times off sick as well. And again, we can see if it's due to a health reason or not. Employed, self-employed, if they're working. And then these two at the bottom are unemployed, so length of time and employment reason. The EQ5D score, so we've kind of broken this down so into the 5 different categories, so mobility, self-care, activities, pain, discomfort, and anxiety, depression. And then just their kind of total score of overall. And then how is their health today, 1 being the best and 100 being the worst. And then interventions, so the number of interventions and the number of people, where they've been referred to. So these are the intervention service, and if there's another intervention service, and then the duration of the interventions as well. And then those that have completed a work coach, so average time with the work coach, time with the work coach, so we can say majority are up to a day. The end reason, if they've declined, what's their reasoning, and then if they've been signpost only, where have they come from, and then up here we can see who's maintained employment and who's maintained unemployment as well. And then just kind of reflecting the START questionnaires as well, so their employment status and absence reasons, all that, and then again mirroring the EQ5D. So these are the ones that I've completed. We've only got 11 people that have completed so far, so there's not that much data in. But I think what I want to talk to you most and what I want to highlight is the data quality that's coming in as well. So this page kind of breaks down all of the different data points and says whether they're missing. So we can see here we've got quite a long list of, this is within the work coach category. If they've been missing, how many are missing? And then again, if they're looking funny, so dates either are kind of before April 25 or after the end of reporting period. So anything that kind of picks up if the dates are looking a bit weird as well. So we've got that for the kind of the 3 main kind of tables that you would produce as well from your data submission. So we've got the work coach, the referral, and the intervention as well. So it's just highlighting any kind of, if they've got the same start and end date, that might be, you know, a valid one, but it's just important to just double check. And then we can see here data quality by referral month, and then data quality by provider as well. So if we're looking total, so down here gives us the total data quality points that are looking a bit skew. So we can see they're really high. So it's just important to make sure that you're getting the information, putting it down at any point of contact that we have with these people as well. I like to think of data quality almost as if making a cake. So you're the ones providing the flour, the eggs. If we're going to have a nice chocolate cake, we're going to have some chocolate. My job is to mix it up, put it in the oven, so put it in a report, and then the numbers come out a nice pretty cake. Without these ingredients, so without these data points, it will probably come out as a cake, but it wouldn't be as good if we have everything and if we measured them. So if we make sure that we're double checking everything. So it's really just to highlight that the more information that we get, the better the cake will be, but then also the better the insights will be as well. So we can have a look to see exactly who's coming through the service, how we're helping them as well. And, you know, see if there's any gaps as well. See if there's any people that maybe aren't coming into the service. And if not, then we can have a look to see why. So I think that's everything from me. Does anyone have any questions regarding the data? Yeah, feel free just to jump in.
Becky, I think just for the purpose of everybody on the call, so at the moment, the data that we collect is only coming from work coaches. So we are working on a solution, and I think it's nearly ready. I know we've got some other people working on that within our North East Commissioning Service for collecting information from our PAS advisors, colleagues, because I think initially it was only the work coaches that we were collecting information from. PAS advisors were collecting it in a slightly different a different way for obviously on behalf of DWP, and we had to make sure that we had data sharing agreements in place and things like that. So the work coaches, sorry Jackie, I'm just answering you there. Work coaches, there's lots of different titles out there. People will be known as work coaches, work well coaches, health and well-being coaches. We are aware that lots of different titles are out there, but essentially you're all aiming to sort of deliver the same service to support patients or clients. I hope that's useful. Did somebody else have their hand up there? I take mine down, sorry. But yes, anybody, sorry. Would you like to come in there from North Cumbria?
Hi.
Hi, sorry. Do you want to just say your name? I didn't want to attempt it in
Yes,
case I got it wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay, I am Oluwatobi Adebayo. I just want
hi.
to pass a comment on the data quality. I think the more clients you have, the more likely you have to have empty spaces or blank columns or rows, basically, because not everybody will have like some fields filled up, basically. For example, if someone is employed, you can't fill anything on that unemployed section. So obviously for that client, the unemployed part will be empty. Or if someone is self-employed, you can't fill something on that unemployed. So basically, I think we should look more into fields that are mandatory instead of looking generally at all the fields. So it will help because looking at it generally that way might make it seem as though the data quality is not great, but operationally it's just what you can get from the client, basically based on their situation. So if you can look into that very well, the measure of data quality probably might not be like the best. Yeah.
No, that's great, Oluwatobi. Thank you. I think we did have a conversation last week, I think, within the kind of data team and the new process for capturing data by PAS advisors. And it's appreciated that, we don't want patients or clients to feel like they're under the microscope, they're sitting, getting interviewed, and they have to provide all of their data in that first session. We know in reality it doesn't work like that. And you lot, I'm sure, will have your ways of collecting data. It might be that you have to have several sessions with that person, individual, to collect data over time. So we do know there will be fields that'll be empty for a little while until that patient or client feels comfortable in giving you're building that relationship with the person, and we appreciate that, and I think so hopefully by the time a person is perhaps referred into an intervention or coming towards the end of their journey, and they feel comfortable with what you've supported them with, it might be that you'll have all the information at that stage. So yeah, we know there is going to be blank fields throughout that patient journey, as it moves along. I mean, I'd welcome any thoughts from anybody if you've got any other thoughts on that. But thanks for those comments. I mean, we'll take them definitely. Becky, did you have any response there for Oluwatobi?
Yeah, I was just going to jump in there and just say I've kind of designed the data quality tab as well so that it does kind of ignore, so like you said, the if they're employed, it'll kind of ignore any of the unemployed sections as well. It just builds in a little bit of intelligence so that, we're not needing that specific data point from them people. But it's just to highlight kind of, the more data that we do get, and it is natural, it will be over time. Like I say, you know, you'll have a lot of people on your caseload, so it will happen kind of over time. So it's just the main kind of points of specifically like the employment status, and we're missing quite a lot of employment statuses from people, so it's just to make sure that you're kind of getting the main ones, but there is a bit of intelligence built in the background to ignore any of kind of the, you know, if they've said that they're employed, it'll ignore kind of the unemployment ones as well.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Linda, did you want to come in there? Thank you. It is Linda, isn't it? Oh, Lindsay, sorry.
Oh.
I can only see half of your name. Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
It's having so many people. It's great.
Thanks so much. It was just to say, so I'm Lindsay, I'm from the Sunderland GP Alliance, and that was really helpful, Becky, and it was really nice to see that dashboard. So it was just to ask, will anything kind of be communicated to individual providers so that we can get better at the data? Because we've done a little bit of work internally, but it would be great to kind of have those insights off the dashboard and kind of where we're going right and where we're going wrong. So I'm just wondering if there's any possibility to have some, you know, some learns shared with you about how we're doing overall and things, like outside of the call, obviously.
Yeah. Becky, did you want to come back on that? I'm happy to.
Yeah, Tracy, do you want to go ahead? And then I'll
Yeah.
pick up anything.
I think that Lindsay, thanks for your question. It's a great question, and I think as the as you know, the ICB's just gone through a change. We are now moving into neighbourhood teams. We're working closely with our neighbourhood leads. I think there might be a few on here. So I think definitely we need to use this data, and that's the whole idea of using that data to inform us of where we are going right or wrong, or what we can improve. So we'll be working with the neighbourhood leads and hopefully delivering some using these sessions. Maybe the neighbourhood teams excuse me, can use their own sessions to croaky throat, sorry, to inform you, particularly in a certain demographic, because I think it's important. We know, the North East North Cumbria is a big place, and we've got very different demographics spread out. So I think honing in on those demographics for your local area, to understand what people are wanting, needing, doing, like, don't like, etc., I think is really important. So yes, definitely that is something we want to start delivering. Like I said, we're just waiting for this dashboard to be fully signed off. Becky's done an absolute fantastic job over the last few weeks. She's only been on it a handful of weeks. So, I think we've come a long way in a very short space of time, but we need to make sure we get it absolutely spot on before we release it to everybody. Obviously, it'll go to the sort of strategic managers to start with, and the neighbourhood leads to be able to start really delving into that data and understanding what it means. But absolutely, I think it's important that you, as the, your front line at the end of the day, you're working with those people. You need to know what's going on. So yes, thank you. We'll take that away.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Any other questions on data or collecting data, or just in general your roles as coaches or advisors? Okay. Okie dokie. Right. Well, we'll move on to our next subject. Becky, thanks very much. You're welcome to stay on if you want to listen to the rest. I'd like to introduce Yusuf. So Yusuf Kasmak is from International Rescue Committee UK, which is a charitable organisation. I'll not steal your thunder, Yusuf, but I'm hoping, I think, is Sam Shotton also, Samantha Shotton, are you on the call today?
I am.
Oh, fantastic. I think just to sort of have a bit of a double act, really, because we had some really interesting discussions last week between Yusuf and Samantha from DWP, and we've got some sort of great thoughts here, but we thought it would be useful to introduce Yusuf to you and the programme, so you understand what is available to you if you have any patients or clients that you're seeing who might be refugees or with a similar status. So Yusuf, over to you if you'd like to introduce yourself and take us through the programme.
Thank you, Tracy. Morning, everyone. My name is Yusuf Kachamak with the IRC. We are like Tracy said, a national charity in UK. We are only 4 or 5 years old in UK, but 90 plus since the First World War, assisting Jewish refugees running away from the First World War. Everything started around Germany with the call of Albert Einstein, and now IRC has different charities, independent, but also codependent on a high level in every country. We are the UK branch, but we're an independent agency, only like 4 or 5 years old. We have this wonderful program in partnership with funded by NHS, as well as supported by another private donor. This is our registration link. We are aiming to serve around 45 to 50 people who has a refugee status or under humanitarian protection, who has a level 2 English or higher. But even though they have level 1 English, we would still accept them in the program. Our program specializes on assisting refugees. Our curriculum, our staff members, they're all trained to specifically assist refugees, getting them back into the labor market. And our program, it started already. We already have few folks. We would like to increase referrals, obviously. They need to have a health condition, mental, cognitive, or physical. It can be self-diagnosis. So if they have, depression, anxiety, things like that you can observe, but not necessarily official diagnosis, please do refer them to us. If their English levels are level 1, please refer them to us. We will assess them. If we can take them on the program, we will. If we can't take them on the program, we have other programs we can take them. Maybe there's a question. Oluwatobi? Maybe your hand was up from the previous time. I'm not sure. Anyway, so our program, like I said, it started already. We will have first job readiness sessions starting on the 22nd of June. Our focus areas are Newcastle, Gateshead, and Tees Valley. And we are providing one-on-one coaching as well as group sessions. It has peer support, like a social integration built into the program. We are interviewing every potential participants on their hobbies, their interests. We will be building like in-person and virtual activities into the program to increase that camaraderie, to bring up that friendship component so that they can push each other for better, to get a job, to be more active in the community. And I think the most important piece may be, now that the ESOL provisions are limited, the program has the ESOL provisions built into it. They will be supported as a group and individual, in-person and virtual ESOL classes, depending on the interests. And also sector-specific ESOL provisions will be offered to the clients as well. So we're really looking forward to your referrals. Like I said, more is better for us to be able to serve and build a program around them. It's the first of its kind in the Northeast that we are providing. So this is going to set an example for the future programs, obviously. And I think that's pretty much all. I put the link there for you guys. It's a jot form. You can click on it and look and see what the program is all about. I can also share our employment resources page of our organization. Always feel free to get in touch with us. This is my email address as well. We're happy to connect, share knowledge, information. Our forums, our staff members are either former refugees or coming from immigrant families or refugee families born in UK. So they have that cultural understanding of how to support this group as well. And our forums are in many different languages like Ukrainian, Pashtun, Arabic. So the clients can fill these forms out by themselves, even though they aren't able to write in English, for instance. And if they have literacy issues, they can simply email. You can simply email us and call us, and we can help them or yourself to get them registered into our program. And that's all. Any questions, I'll happy to answer.
Okay, Samantha, did you want to come in at all, just from a DWP perspective?
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name's Samantha Shotton. So I cover the patches that Yusuf's covering at the moment. So I'm a group partnership manager. I do also cover South West Scotland, but we had a fantastic meeting a week before last. I've been off a week last week, so I did actually run with this straight away because what Yusuf is offering is a fantastic opportunity for all of our refugees with health barriers. So all the local partnership managers in their patches are all aware of everything that Yusuf has just went through there. So they were actively promoting this last week, so you may have already heard of it. So yeah, I'm catching up at the moment, trying to get back in touch with them, getting a meeting organised to see where we are at with that. But yeah, Yusuf covered everything. But you clarified with me that anything that we're unsure of, we can always just get a referral over, you can discuss it with the customers, and I think that was the best option because you firsthand have the information for the customers. So yeah, it's a perfect place for these customers to get maximum amount of help from Yusuf. It was great, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Samantha.
Lovely, thanks Samantha, that's great. Has anybody got any other questions on International Rescue Committee and the refugee programme? Deborah?
Oh, hiya, Yusuf, that provision sounds amazing. I work out at Sunderland Job Centre. Now, I've just had a look at your website. I know it's not available in Sunderland, but you sent that second link for the employment support. Is that for anybody, or is that just for Newcastle, Gateshead and Teesside as well?
Oh, no. So, sorry, I forgot the man. That's the thing. It's like I advertise programs, but then sometimes our national programs, because it has a larger coverage, it tends to take over. Yes, we do have a national program as well. So but you still refer the client through our link to this health program, please. And then if we are unable to offer them the place because of the location that they're in, we have this program. Thank you for asking, Deborah. This is a national program. We accept anyone, including refugees, even asylum seekers with work permit. We accept anyone and everyone. This is more like, it's still a labor market integration. It's still employment services, but it's not as intense as this, our ICB employment project, but we still accept them. So that's what I was saying. Refer them through the first link that I shared as much as you can. If we can't accommodate them in that program, we're going to put them into a different program. They wouldn't even know the difference. They would still get the same support. They're just going to get supported from a different, like a pot of funding, and still the same staff members will help them. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Deborah, just to come in there, what I can do, I have sent an email out to the local partnership managers that cover this lead. However, I'll try and get this, I'll speak to them today and get this out a bit wider. I imagine that it would be filtered down, but if it hasn't, I'll get that sorted today, Deborah, because you'll have the full information and all the points that Yusuf clarified about the ESOL level, the areas and what they cover. That's all within that information, so I'll make sure that goes a bit wider.
Lovely, thank you.
That's great. I can see a couple of bits and pieces in the chat there, just obviously talking about the data, whether it's face-to-face, telephone, and obviously we're seeing a large number of telephone in sort of referral sources to sort of type of contact, from the work coaches. I think Becky's answered there. It is dependent on what the data is submitted, but again, apologies, I'm not close enough to the completion of that data. However, I wonder whether we appreciate that first contact, it tends to be telephone contact, because you need to gauge whether a person wants to come and see somebody or not. So I wonder whether the data can be updated as you go through that journey. So if the initial contact was telephone and then they decided not to come along, at least we've captured that. But actually, if the second contact, if they want to come in and see somebody, you can update that type of contact to face, just so we can actually see the different types of contact. I think there might be some anecdotal suggestion that people who are seen face to face tend to be more engaged with a program, because you're building that relationship with the individual rather than just on the telephone. So I'm sure you all appreciate that. But it's maybe something that we need to double check. I mean, I would welcome anybody who does complete the data at source. Are you able to update that telephone to face? Anybody? Hello, Toby. Yeah.
So, sorry, 1 second. Yes, the question being asked on the data, the minimum data set was like the type of first contact.
Yeah.
So, that is the question that was asked, type of first contact. So your first contact cannot probably change. It's just that type of first contact. But our system particularly captures all contacts that we make with our clients. So I don't know for other organizations, but the system we use capture every contact we make with our clients.
Okay.
Either it's through text message, email, face to face.
Yeah.
So we record every contact, and our system captures that. So, and we have that figure. So
Okay.
but for what was asked on the minimum data set is just the first contact. So yeah. So I think that is why it appeared that way, because most people tend to make telephone the first contact or text messages.
Yeah.
So probably
Yeah.
that's why we have
Okay,
it
it
that way.
might be something that we need to look at to be able to capture that subsequent contacts
Yeah.
after the first contact, because as you say, the likelihood of the first contact being face to face is probably less than
Yeah.
what a telephone contact is. Yeah. Okay. We'll take that away and obviously look at it to see. I mean, if that data's been captured for every contact that you have in any way, I don't know if it's like that for every area, and it's something we can look at. But certainly, even if we perhaps updated the minimum data set slightly, that isn't going to be too onerous for people to collect that information. We'll take that away. Great stuff. As looking at the time, it's nearly 10:10. We've still got 20 minutes if you want to use it. Obviously, I'm not going to keep you on if there's nothing else that you want to discuss or talk about. But over to you, really. If anybody's got any points they'd like to raise, how are things going? We are seeing a couple of case studies coming in, which is great. The case studies really, as Becky said, the data is only one element. Having those case studies and seeing a patient journey from start to finish, and even if it's a negative outcome or we'd still like to hear, we know this isn't for everybody, but seeing those positive outcomes and seeing people either get back to work, stay well in work, etc., I think is testament to what you lot are doing. So I will always say thank you to you lot, because I think I don't often see many of you. I think I've seen a handful of people at various meetings, but it's I want you to know that you are pivotal in this whole journey of keeping work and health and work well going. So thank you. Any questions at all? Any points anybody wants to raise? Okay. Right. Well, lovely to see everybody, and thanks again. That's been a great. Sorry, just I'm reading the messages now. Lovely. Record our contact as we go. Right, that's great. Super. We will look into that. I'll let everybody go. Thanks ever so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. I'll send the recording out afterwards. Bye now.
Thanks, Tracy. Bye.
Bye, thanks.